Trippie Redd was supposed to be one of the biggest rappers of this generation. He had the emotion of Juice WRLD, the energy of X, and the melodies to bring it together all before it was mainstream. So the real question is, why didn't he reach his ceiling? Today, I'm breaking down what actually happened. But first, we have to talk about Trippie Redd's early momentum. He blew up during the early SoundCloud days, and it was that time period where you can discover your favorite artist on SoundCloud and literally watch them grow and blow up. And I was one who literally witnessed Trippie grow. Releasing songs like Love Scars, his feature on F Love by X, his song with Travis Scott, and so many other little moments built up this SoundCloud rapper's career to insane heights. I really do truly believe that Trippie Redd was ahead of his time, and I think that even if you're not a big fan of Trippie Redd, there was one point in time in the industry, in rap, where you could not ignore his face. He was seen everywhere, he was getting the biggest cosigns, and now he's literally an artist that cosigns others, like working with Summers and Tana, and even featuring Fago on his project Trip at Night. Trippie was ahead of the wave. But now we have to talk about why he was even positioned to be so big. Whether you like him or not, Trippie Redd is still to this day extremely versatile. He can rap, sing, and combine all that with hype and pain and melody, and his music just makes sense to so many people, including myself. The timing of him coming out was perfect, you know? I mean, even the early days of the beef between him and 6ix9ine, his relationship with X and Juice and Ski Mask, everything kind of just happened at the perfect timing for him as soon as he was growing. He had these projects like Life's a Trip and his A Love Letter to You series. Trippie really has had something going for him for the longest time, and he deserves the respect too. He also has one of the most unique voices in rap in general. I mean, nobody sounds like Trippie. Nobody has Trippie's ability to produce melodies, and sometimes are all over the place, but a lot of the times are really heartfelt. And I'm not gonna lie, I think that he kind of started the subgenre in which Juice WRLD and X get praised for. You know, he kind of paved that way, and they kind of just took that ball and kept it rolling. Trippie has done his thing, and he deserves all of the respect. But I'm gonna bring up a few points where I believe it started slipping. Now, this is no hate. If you look around my room, you could see I have literally Trippie Redd posters. Trippie Redd for my own music was a huge inspiration, but I'm not going to sit here and lie to myself as a fan either. My main points being, for one, he started chasing trends and virality instead of evolving naturally. Trippie has always been one to switch it up on his fans, and I actually don't think that that's a bad thing for an artist to do. You know, you want your audience to get accustomed to you switching up so that if you want to go in a different direction, they're not hating on you all the time. But I do think it kind of hurt Trippie, because when something was going good for him, as soon as he heard a few people talking like, oh, like we want this or we want that, it kind of confused it, and it made him switch up and drop so many different types of music in such a short span of time that I think it kind of hurt him. Now, I can't stop an artist, because I'm an artist myself, I can't stop an artist from being versatile and putting that music out there. Artists should be able to do that, Trippie should be able to do that, but that was a factor into how we started seeing the masses kind of switch up on him, because first he's dropping an extremely melodic and heartfelt project, then he's dropping rage songs, then he's dropping songs that are kind of all over the place in this blend of a project that doesn't even make sense, but he kind of was forced at hand because leakers were trying to drop these songs. It's like, I get where he's coming from, but this was a big factor as to why people and the masses aren't as supportive to him anymore. My next point is he's got way too many inconsistent projects. I am a huge fan of Trippie Redd, but a lot of his projects are more inconsistent and not as listenable as a whole compared to others. You have projects like A Love Letter to You 1, 2, 3, and even 4, and then you have Life's a Trip, and you have projects like that that are just so cohesive and they make sense. Even his later projects, Trip at Night, it was a great listen. But then you have projects like Mansion Music, where that was a project where he said his hand was forced and leakers were gonna hold him for ransom and try to release these songs. So instead of holding them back, he just put them all out, but it was put out in such a way where the listening experience of that project, it at least at first listen, it was all over the place. Now, that project is actually grown on me, but at first, you can tell that nothing was put together in a way where he even had the chance to give us what he really could give us. And we've seen in his later projects, even in Pegasus and certain albums that he's put out, there was a lot of inconsistency. And I want to stop myself before I keep going and just saying, I have so much respect for Trippie. If he ever sees this, I respect and love all of your music and all that you've done for the industry. And I think he knows that some of his stuff isn't the most consistent, but he's so smart and he's able to make such good music that I just hope that later in time he is able to create a project that is insanely cohesive, ignores the numbers and all the fans talking and everything like that, and just does him. Another point that I want to bring up though, and a reason as to why he's slipping, we've kind of lost that raw emotion in Trippie's music, and I'm not sure why that is. I don't know what he's going through. We don't know what these artists are going through, so we can't keep judging as fans as to, oh well, why aren't you putting out this music, or you should be with this person. A lot of the times as fans, we have this misconception that artists, they're just always going to put out what we want, but sometimes they're not, and I think that's why Trippie switched up so frequently, because him as a person was switching up as he grew, so he was gonna naturally do different things. But I think when he tried to release more emotional music, it wasn't as felt as his earlier projects. Like when he recently tried to release a project like A Love Letter to You 5, that project to me is pretty good, but it didn't get that much praise, and I honestly understand why, because for a lot of Trippie Redd's love releases, they felt very connected to the time period. They felt also very connected to the person that he was currently in a relationship with. This one just felt like, I'm gonna give you emotional love music because I know it's what the fans want. It didn't feel like he was truly and deeply connected to the project, especially based on how close it came out after Mansion Music. And then I think another point is that he just oversaturates releases. Again, I get that artists, as an artist myself, we like to put out music and we just like to put it out. We don't really want to think so hard about it because it's art at the end of the day. But even as a Trippie fan, I love when he puts out tons of music, but from a mass appeal, from a mass standpoint, when you're putting out back to back 20-song long albums, it gives fans less of an ability to sit with one thing and actually enjoy it. And even when Trippie drops projects that the masses don't approve of, I think if they were given a year or two to actually sit with it and listen, they might actually enjoy it. Because if you look back, every album that Trippie Redd has put out that people are like, over time, they liked them, but the thing is, he doesn't give us enough time to really sit with it and just allow ourselves to really enjoy the great music that he's making. So when it comes to the masses not supporting him, I don't think people gave up on Trippie. I think they just stopped feeding him, because it's like, you're just gonna keep giving us and giving us and giving us and giving us. His ego is just gonna keep getting higher if we keep on supporting the fact that he's not taking a step back and allowing himself to look at what people are telling him for what it is and not as hate. The big question, could he still reach his ceiling? I think it's a yes and a no, because does Trippie Redd have talent? Yes, but does authenticity matter more than the trends that he follows? Does he need a sound reset? Does he need to completely kind of reset what he's doing? Because I feel like even now, with the releases that he's putting out leading up to this project that he's been hyping up for the last 2 years, NDA, you can see that he's again trying to go back to an even older sound, not even connected to love, an even older sound that his OG SoundCloud fans love. I appreciate that as one of his OG SoundCloud fans. I really do enjoy some of these recent songs that Trippie has put out. I think they're good, but I feel like I'm also in this limbo with him where it's like, I think this is cool, but I also want you to really evolve, and if that means that you're gonna make something that I'm not gonna like or that other people aren't gonna like, maybe that's okay. But if you're evolving, maybe that's what we really need. I hope that his most recent projects and his project that is about to come out, NDA, hopefully this year, I hope that the masses enjoy it regardless of numbers, because I feel like everybody in rap is kind of aware at this point that although people like the academics and the industry people try to say numbers, I feel like everybody in the culture is kind of just numb to the whole numbers conversation now. So that's honestly a good thing. That means that he could put out this project and we can look at it for the music. I just pray that the music holds up, and I think it's possible. Trippie Redd is one of those artists where we know he's got tons of potential. I mean, he was going to be on God's plan with Drake, you know, like even Drake saw that, you know, early in time. Uzi, when people were comparing him to Uzi, even Uzi kind of felt away until they were able to be in cahoots and work together. Everybody knows and knew that Trippie, he's got it, but he's got to show us he's got it more. In my opinion, Trippie Redd didn't fail. He didn't fail at all. He's successful in his own right, but he also didn't give us everything that we know he's still capable of. And that might be one of the biggest what ifs in modern rap. So did Trippie Redd sabotage his own career, or was it just bad timing? I really want to have a conversation about this in the comments with you guys, so please comment down below your thoughts of Trippie, and if you still mess with his music, let's have a conversation. If you want to follow me or any of my own music, you could do that. Follow me everywhere, Will Armani. It's been your boy Will. More content on the way. Stay positive, y'all.